Drink real fast. Real fast. We're back with part 2. This is part 2. This is the second part. Second part. Return of the part 2. Two. Okay. So we're gonna keep going.
Our
with
son would say 2 blocks.
2 blocks.
2 blocks.
We're gonna keep going with the questions because there's a lot of them, and that one was really long.
I hate this question.
Wait, what?
Favorite movie?
Yeah, which I'm gonna tell this part because I said this one to you ahead of time, and you're like, "Why do people always ask this?" We started a podcast about movies, Cheryl.
Yeah, but it's such a hard question when you're a movie buff. Like, you don't, not just one movie is like the ultimate greatest movie of all time. Like, there's parts of every movie that you love. Like, I have maybe a top 10, top 20, and there's things about those specific movies that, like, I don't love more than the other ones. I just love this part of it, or I love that part of it for different reasons, or it made me feel a different way. Or
I would say it would be the same way. I heard somebody because a while ago people were doing like their top 10 favorite rappers of all time or whatever, and they like asked everybody, but somebody said in an interview, I don't think I could pick it because there's so many different criterias for the best rappers of all time.
And that's how I feel about movies.
Yeah. So
I could tell you what my favorite genre to watch is. Like, if I'm just sitting at home and I don't have anyone else that's going to watch a movie with me.
It's documentaries.
Like, just kidding. Well, I do love documentaries, but that's my
comfortably numb.
That's my documentaries and reality TV is my white noise.
That's reality TV.
But my favorite genre is horror. Like, I will always throw on a horror movie. I don't know. I just love it. But I also love, I love mafia movies. Like, I love, boss movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's get it. Let's sell some drugs and kill some people.
Let's sell some drugs. Let's get it done.
Let's do it. Let's fucking murder the store owner because he didn't pay you the rent. Let's do it.
I don't know. Because I also, for your same point, there are also a lot of movies that I don't know are equal in my eyes. Like I used to say forever that Boondock Saints continuously for the rest of my life, and it's still true to this day, will always make me laugh. Always, no matter what mood I'm in, no matter what's going on, will always. So I would put that as a top movie because that's something that's continuously throughout my life always been.
That's how I feel about Get Him to the Greek. But I can't watch that movie without laughing. I just cannot.
But The Departed, I can't. There's not a time where I have tried to watch that movie and been bored. There's not a time where, even though I know the ending and how the twist goes and everything, there's not one time I've watched that movie where I've been seen it. It's just such a great movie to me. And there are other ones that I have too. So I would say consistently, I would say Scream probably would be up there for me. But like I said, I would say that there's 10 of them that are equal in their own right. And that would be in there.
But that's what I mean by top 10. I don't have a top 10 where I could tell you what my number 1 is. I have a top 10 where they're all kind of just equally up there.
That's what I was saying.
They're I like these. So.
Get Him to the Greek.
I love that fucking movie.
I think it's funny that out of all the movies that my mom thinks is dumb,
she loves that one.
She loves that movie.
It's fucking funny.
I just think it's hilarious to me. There are movies I would put Ocean's 11 up there too. I've never watched Ocean's 11 and been bored or had it on for background. I don't know.
I know people disagree with me, but I put that in the same genre as mob boss movies. That's the same kind of feel and criminal shit.
Gangs in New York too, or not in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gangs in New York.
Gangs in New York.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
That's a long ass movie.
Oh, I love that one though.
And I still, to this day, haven't.
But I feel like I'm a little biased because it has Leo in it. But also, I didn't like The Revenant, and that has Leo in it, so maybe not as biased as I thought.
You're able to not like movies.
I'm able to not like a movie with Leo in it. I have one movie that I don't like with him in it.
Have you seen Leo lately, though? It's kind of funny. He's puffy.
Leo could be fat and hairy, and I'd still be in love with him.
Because that's what he's looking like.
Like, it doesn't matter what that man looks like. I'm still absolutely head over heels.
It was funny. He had a TikTok that he made for Christmas of like all of like the like Margot Robbie and what's her name from Wednesday or whatever.
Alice is calling me.
And they came in. Okay.
What?
Hello? Can I walk to the house?
Okay. Love you, bye.
Anyway. But yeah, it was like her and Margot Robbie or whatever, and he was sitting on a chair next to the Christmas tree, and they sat on his lap, and he gave them presents. It was, it was so funny.
I just don't like to think about his love life, though.
It cracked me up. Yeah.
That's icky.
It's
I just don't like to think about it. I like to think about him as a different person.
Anyways.
So
there isn't one.
Do you?
My favorite movie is
favorite movie.
My favorite movie is Our Life.
You're my favorite movie.
That was cute. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you ever get taken off guard with each other's dark humor?
I don't think I get personally. I don't think I get caught off guard by your dark humor. I think it's just two things. I think part of me goes, "Damn it, I should have thought of that," and the other part of me is like, is more. I don't know how to describe it. The other part of me is more like, how can I make this funny? I don't know. Your dark humor forces me to find a way to make it funnier.
I think the only time
like the shocking thing, like your post itself was funny, and then I was like, I have to say something funny back that still goes with what she said.
I think the thing with your dark humor doesn't really shock me necessarily. I think
doesn't concern you.
Sometimes it takes me off guard on the situation that we're in when you do it. Like, I'm like, okay. Hi, people of the church. I guess we're just gonna talk about that one now. Like, I just mean funny. Like, there's times and places for things, and you don't have that. So there's times where I'm just like, oh, hello. Okay, well, that one came out.
I like him.
Like the first time we ever been to your grandparents' house. Like, I'm still, like, learning, you know what I mean? I'm still learning your family and the dynamic and everything, and you're just like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh. So we're okay with that? All right, everyone's okay with that. All right. Oh, shit. You definitely make me feel more comfortable about when and where I can say things, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, because if people aren't comfortable with me, you could just sneak one in there.
And be like, me too, haha.
Me too, haha.
The one that gets people a lot, though, is my cannibalism jokes. Whenever I, like, joke about, like, I'm interested in the taste of human flesh or something like that, like, people, like, really dislike those. They really don't like...
They are really sensitive to cannibalism.
They are! Like, holy shit. Like, calm down. I'm not gonna eat you. Like...
You have tattoos. Jeffrey Dahmer says you're eating.
Yeah, Jeffrey said those are gross. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get taken off guard. You know what I do get taken off guard by, which is surprising to me because I have them too, is I get taken off guard more so by your impulsive thoughts, like your intrusive thoughts, than like your dark humor.
Like, in what respect?
Like the suicidal intrusive thoughts.
I feel like my intrusive thoughts have been pretty chill as of recent.
No, I know, but every once in a while you have one and you're like, this is what I thought about today. And I'm like, oh, okay.
How you doing?
All right.
All right.
And I don't know why it takes me off guard or surprises me because I have the same ones. Like I
Yeah.
told you about the MEK. Like I was just sitting there at work and I was like, I wonder what that tastes like. And I'm like, that's weird. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking about what that tastes like. Or like sitting on a balcony going, well, I could just jump right now. Like,
Been there.
like I don't know. Those things happen to me all the time. So I'm just like, I don't know. I guess when you say them yourself, because we feel comfortable enough with each other where we just say the things out to each other.
God, can we just stop talking about how great our communication is?
Did I do it again?
Did I do it again? Was it me? Was it me?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I was just kidding.
But I think that just takes me off guard more than your humor. Your humor, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I was with someone who used to make dead baby jokes, so
Yeah.
dark humor doesn't really surprise me. Those ones do. I don't, but he doesn't do those ones, so.
Mine are way funnier because I'm
Mine
funnier.
are way funnier.
They are funnier because I'm funnier.
Didn't we answer this one already?
What? Uh-huh.
What do you like most about each other?
Yeah, because you asked me. Oh, I did put it on there. I didn't know if I put it on there.
Oh, okay. Okay. When does free speech turn into hate speech? Ouch.
Ouch.
Ugh.
When you get all stabby.
That's heavy.
So I will start. I will start. I don't like that. That's not funny at all.
That's heavy.
I'll start answering that if you want to jump in.
I
But I would say for me, personally, I would say I think that free speech has been used and manipulated to just be an asshole to people.
would agree.
I think free speech was meant in a way of being able to kind of like our intrusive thoughts or suicidal tendencies, be able to bring it up and be like, hey, I feel this way, or I think these things, or whatever, and be able to say those things without getting arrested for them, or
I think it
things like
very
that.
much
And
depends on how you're saying the thing.
I think people use it to be an asshole of like.
I don't think it's what you're saying. I think it's how you're saying it. But at the same time, also, if you're talking about injuring another person or anything like threatening, I also think that's not free speech either.
Well, I use this as my example with my dad because he asked me this a while ago. But if you are at a school, if you're a teacher and you're at a school or a college, you have codes of conduct that you have to follow.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are a racist teacher, you can't go around being like, hey, Blackie, come over here. And then when the school board comes up to you, be like, well, I have free speech. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. I feel like the free speech cop-out is being used as a way to just be an asshole instead of I have.
Well, that's what I'm
right.
saying. I think it doesn't matter what you're saying. I think it depends on how you're saying it. So, like, if you're, let's say, fuck, I don't know. Let's say, okay. Here you go. Okay, so as far as like, so I've been to a few of the women's rights, marches, rallies, whatever, and there are times where people want to tell you their feelings on it while you're out there. They like yell it at you. They say things. Some of it is extremely derogatory and mean, and some of it is just them being like, this is what I believe, I think you're all wrong, blah blah blah. And I don't think those people are bad or mean or anything. I have nothing back to say to them. There's, you believe that, this is what I believe. But the ones who are driving past in their car roll their window down and say, fuck bitches, or fuck you, you baby killers. Like, that's where I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter what you say, it matters how you say it. you can say, I think what you're doing is killing babies without calling me a baby killer.
Mm-hmm. Specifically.
Like, I didn't kill a baby. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who?
Like,
Who?
you know what I mean? Like, I think what you, like saying, I think what you believe in is killing babies. I think what you are doing. And I know people are going to take offense to that too, but that's their problem. It's your free speech to be able to say, I feel like what you believe in is wrong. But it's not your free speech to call me derogatory names.
Hmm.
And it's the same for anyone else. Like if I felt a certain way about a certain race, I have the free speech. I'm not going to, but I have the free speech to be like, I don't really like that race. I think they act a certain way. But saying that versus saying, well, F them N-words, they are lazy pieces of shit, that's a whole different fucking story now. Now now that is hate speech. Like that's where I've crossed that line. And like I think that's the difference is like how it's said. And the same thing about like threatening ways too. Like F these N-words, I'm gonna kill them all. Like that's fucking hate speech. Now that's beyond hate speech. You're threatening too.
Yep.
So like there's a difference between saying how you feel about something or speaking your mind or speaking your word or what you feel or believe in and just being fucking cruel to other people for no reason.
Well, and it's more of, and you kind of said that, it's more of the intent behind it.
Yeah.
Like you can obviously in the world of podcasting, you have the ability to pretty much say whatever you want. Like it's the epitome of free speech. But also it's actions, words of action of like, well, these people or we need to do this because these people or whatever. It's things like that turn it into hate speech, because you can have, like you said, you can have an opinion without being direct, without being like, I don't know. I would say anything that is meant in a hostile tone or way. But that also makes it very hard, because how do you regulate that? As far as you have to do it on a society basis, you can't do it on a political basis.
Yeah.
Because that's where that question came from, by the way, is that they were talking about readjusting the free speech part of it, because there's no way to regulate it, because we have to do it as a society. You can't take away free speech. You can't. You just can't.
But there are laws. That's what I'm saying. It is regulated. There are laws against hate speech.
I'm aware, but I'm saying, we also have to do it as a society, because if the same with laws against other things, people are going to break them, and people are going to do.
Oh, you mean like as a society, we have to hold each other accountable?
Yeah, as a society.
Like if I hear someone saying something that's considered hate speech, I need to be like, hey,
I feel like
there's other ways you could word that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way that's going to change. Because I think, like I said when I started answering this, I think people nowadays are using free speech as a way to just be an asshole and be covered. Be like, well, it's my free speech to say whatever I want. Yes, but it's not. It's not free speech to just be an asshole for the sake of being an asshole. And I feel like that's where, as a society, we have to come together and either point out or just be better of like the difference between just being an asshole and covering yourself with a blanket of free speech, and actually having free speech and conversations and,
yeah,
I don't know, being good people, I guess. I don't know. Communication.
Being a good person is such a difficult thing to do, and it's such a difficult topic. And I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but it really is, because we're all taught a certain way. And sometimes you learn that way you were taught is not the good person way to do things.
Yep.
And I think what makes you a good person, just like what makes you a good parent, is that you're willing to learn.
Adapt.
You're willing to adapt. You're willing to become better. Like, I don't know. There's things that I've heard people say in like the last year or so that I'm like, I've said that before, but the way they said it or when they said it, it sounded icky to me. And I'm like, okay, so that's something I need to watch for when I'm talking about different cultures or different races, is that I need to be careful on these certain pronouns I'm using or these like, because I heard it in this person. It sounded icky when they said it, and that's like,
and I don't want it to sound.
I don't want to sound that way. I don't want, because that's not who I am. And it's not what I represent, and I don't want someone to be under the impression that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the last question?
No.
Oh.
How are you woke?
How are you woke? How woke are you?
Look, I'm too woke, according to some people. How are you working on cultivating your dreams in the coming year?
Do you have dreams in the coming year? Do you have things that you want to do and get done?
I want a car and I want to go to Disney.
Okay. How are you working? Waiting for taxes.
Yeah, pretty much. For the car, the rest of it will come after we get the car. Because once we have the car, we'll be making the same amount of money, but we won't be spending as much money as we are right now on gas. And so saving up will be easier. And we have like other plans too, as far as this year, as far as like saving money for things like holidays, which is something we've never done before because I've never really thought about it until this year. And I was like, if we just save like a certain amount of money out of each check, when the holidays do come, like birthdays do come, we can use that money for it, and it doesn't feel like we're having to put so much on those specific checks that hit on those holidays.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this year goes, to see how well we do or don't do, or
more updates to come.
Yeah, it'll be.
If we get it,
like every other person in the world, we're still learning. We're still figuring things out.
If we do a podcast from a cardboard box, you'll know that it didn't go very well.
It didn't work out.
Turns out we spent more money than.
It turns out that we suck at this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have dreams. I don't really have dreams, really. I'm just not like, I don't know. I'm not that kind of driven person.
You're a toker and a smoker.
My drive. Yeah. The kind of like drives I have in my life, or the things that I want out of my life, are like more so like family oriented, and like I just want a better life for my kids. And they have it. I'm not saying that they have a bad life right now, because they don't. They have a good life right now because I've built it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've gotten to a point where they could have the things that they need or want. I'm at a point now where they can go get treatment for whatever's happening or whatever, and and I'm happy to be there, but it can always be, everything can always be better. And so, that's always my end goal, is just to make.
Well, what about that?
I just want every year to be better than the last year.
What about that then? What are you doing to make that better then? Or is that just the savings thing?
Well, yeah, I think this year it's just mostly focusing on the savings thing, because at this point, if I try to get another job, then we'd have the vacation issue when it came to actually going to Disney and doing this, which is a top priority for me right now. I know that seems silly, but right now all the kids are in that age
sweet spot
where, like, if they get any older, it's not going to be as cool, and
if they get any younger, we're going to have to buy an extra.
Well, no, like Wyatt is at that age where he might remember some of it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if we wait too much longer, I don't know if Emma's even going to be around to come with us.
If it's going to go the other way.
If she's even going to want to be there. I don't.
I think so.
Well, I think so too, but I don't know what she's going to do with her life at that
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want her to get out of high school and me be like, hey, I'm taking everyone to Disney World. What are you doing? And her be like,
fucking lame.
I can't go. Like, I've got this going on. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be one more adventure as a whole
Mhm.
before everyone starts moving on with their lives. And so I feel like within either this year or next year, it has to happen in this spot,
Time. Or else it's
or
not going to.
it's not going to.
Just the financials.
Yeah, it's really just focusing on like getting better about paying certain things and savings more so. And you know, I think paying up on rent with our taxes is really gonna be
Help.
beneficial and help us be able to start on a page where we can take some money out of each check for rent instead of being like, well, this is car payment check and this is rent check. Like,
And
I'm tired of that.
sometime in between there, we're gonna get maybe some groceries.
Yeah, I'm tired of that kind of living versus like, well, if we took this much money out of each check for rent and the car payment, we would actually spend less each check.
Yeah.
Well, not spend less overall, but we would have more
Or
each check for other things.
Or have the ability of like, hey, we're a month ahead on rent, so we can get new tires.
Yeah.
And not be like, well, we could either get new tires or we're gonna have to be back on rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm supposed to get a raise this year. You're supposed to get a raise this year. So we'll see how that happens.
Supposed to.
Hopefully the economy just fucking stays still for a minute. But I don't know because I spent like, this is the crazy thing to me about this is like I spent $600 in groceries, what, like 3 months ago?
Yeah.
And it was a ton of groceries.
Mhm.
And then, not last time I bought groceries, but the time before, which was maybe only a couple weeks before the last time I bought groceries, I spent $600 and it was maybe half of what we got a few months ago, right? But then this very last time I just went grocery shopping, I spent $500 fucking dollars on groceries, and it was like almost half of what I bought a few weeks before. And I'm just like, how? Like, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. Or at least, like, or it's gonna be like $600 for just milk and eggs. Like, what the fuck? I don't have $600 to spend on milk and eggs. I need to be able to, like, make dinners, which I can't do with just milk and egg.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just have fucking scrambled egg or omelets all the time. Like,
Also, I made homemade cheese curds last night.
you did.
And they were
very yummy. But, I don't know. It's just frustrating. So hopefully the economy just stops for a minute so we could, like, I don't know,
Catch up.
progress at all.
So we could get better economy.
That would be nice. Anyways, that was the last question.
I don't know. I have plans for what I want to do dream wise, I guess. But I don't know. I need to actually like, yeah, I don't know. It would have to be like a family thing. I feel like that's the only way that's going to happen because I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And I feel like the
What is
only way
this?
podcasting.
Oh,
And I feel like the only way that's going to happen is if we have a set time that no matter what we're doing, how we're feeling, what's going on, we
Yeah.
do it. And the only way that happens is if somebody can watch Wyatt while we do it.
Yeah.
And so I feel, because that's why it's taken so long to do this one, is because every time we have had the ability to do it, the girls have wanted to do something, which I don't want to be like, that fucking sucks.
yeah, I know this is, you know, the only time that we're home, but you can't go do this for like an hour or two.
But I want to figure out, and I don't know what that would be, other than the schedule needs to change. I feel like having it.
I agree.
Having it every weekend is not, because even now, even with me like doing this, I see the notification pop up and I just make it go away because I know it's not going to happen. But I think my plan was I want to spread it out to every 2 weeks. I want because that way it gives time in between, and it's not like every single weekend we need to do something. I want to do it every 2 weeks, and I want to set at least a day. It doesn't have to be a time frame, but at least Saturday or Sunday morning, and be like, we're gonna do this no matter what's going on, no matter what we have to do. We're gonna do this
Mm-hmm.
and figure out a way to make it happen. Because I feel like if I don't know, personally for me, I feel like if it's not kind of like you did with the girls for chores, and it's a bad example, but I feel like if it's not there as a thing that needs to be done, it's not going to get done. And the
Mhm.
more that we stop doing it and put this length of time in between it, the more it's not going to go anywhere or do anything. So that's my plan. Also, I got to figure out something for the garage because I would really like to do it there. I think that's a good idea.
Yes, that also is part of like our plans too.
I think that's a
Is
good idea.
I really think we should work on getting a generator because I think that's our only option as far as the electricity goes in that garage. And then obviously, we need like a better light system in there and probably some sound padding.
You're a sound man. Yeah. That's the plan. I'm working on it. Like I said, probably going to be back to the truck podcast for a little while because
At least it's warm.
yeah, because it's snowy and going to get colder, and if we can't figure that out,
And I might lose my tits if we do it in the garage.
yeah,
And we don't want to lose those.
I don't want to lose those. That would make me sad. So, yeah, cultivating our dream.
Cultivating.
Yeah.
Interesting word.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for me or
I don't know.
anything
That was a
you
lot.
would like to answer?
No, but I kind of enjoyed this. I like people could ask more questions. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would. Well, that was kind of part of the plan. So
And I don't know if I totally agree with Zach on like
anything I said.
no. On not calling people out on who asked the questions. I think if you want us to call you out, add that to it. Like
Well,
if you want to stay,
yeah,
um,
anonymous.
if you want to stay, nameless, let us know. Or if you want us to be like, hey, this was sent to us by so and so.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
That could be our title song
I
for
wonder who
these
it's
videos.
from. We'll do the old.
We're gonna get
have, like,
licensing issues.
No, people
here
would
in a
actually
fucking
have to.
minute.
People would actually have to watch it. Do you know how many things we talked about Disney? Disney hasn't said shit yet. Anyway,
Oh.
anyway,
Yeah, don't let those episodes get big. Okay?
well, I didn't. Well, I didn't want to name anybody because I didn't want. I don't know.
You don't know if they
there were
want to
some-
be named. Yeah, I
well,
get it.
Well, no, mostly because there were some. I don't know. There were some questions in there that were uncomfortable questions, so I didn't want people to be like.
Well, that's why I said I don't know if I agree totally
I
with
want people
not naming
not to-
people. I think it should be up to you guys on whether you want to be named or not. I have no problem calling you out on here and saying like, "Thank you, so and so, for the question." Blah blah blah.
Super question.
But you need to let us know. Otherwise, I think if you don't let us know, we're just gonna keep it nameless, just to be on the safe
I just
side.
didn't want people to not ask questions that they were curious about because they didn't want to make it weird for them. You know what I mean?
Maybe we should find a way that people can ask questions
Like
where they don't.
okay, so like if nobody asked this, but if you want to ask this, you can. But I'm saying like if somebody was like, "What's your favorite sex position?" and then we were like, "Thanks for the great question from this person." Then if they know that person, they're gonna be like,
Ew.
"Why did you want to know that?" That's what I mean. Like those questions, I don't mind answering.
Or the jealous wife is like, "Why would you ask him that?"
Yeah, like those questions, I don't mind answering, but that's why I didn't name names because I didn't want people to not ask questions because
got it.
it didn't.
I wonder if
Awkward.
there's got to be, well, because they have that thing on Snapchat where you can ask people anonymously, like.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's anything like that.
They have it on YouTube.
Hmm.
You can comment. You can comment anonymously on YouTube.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So if you want to ask questions, you can either do that because they'll be on Spotify and on the YouTubes.
Comment on something.
Comment on something, or
Comment on Facebook. Comment on YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say
message us privately. Either one of us.
I actually had most of the questions that we had for these. I got directly, so I have no problem with you messaging me, even if I don't know you all that well. Messaging me directly and being like, "Hey, I had a question," or Cheryl, either one.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you want to be named, then be like, "Hey, give me a shout out or something." If not, then we'll just keep them anonymous. And I have no problem answering whatever questions that you guys have.
Yeah. Find us.
Yeah.
What's in the Box podcast?
Yeah, so I think it'd be fun because I like these. I like answering questions.
Spotify, YouTube, Facebook.
We won't spend.
We have an Instagram, but we don't do it.
We don't, because that was supposed to be your responsibility.
And I suck at
Stop
responsibilities.
I took every other social media, and you were like, "I'll do the Instagrams." And I think Johnny Depp before season 2 was the last one that you posted.
It so was.
Anyway, and we won't spend another hour talking about how great our communication is.
Maybe.
Maybe. But if you would like to know, watch the other one, because we talked about it for a long time.
2 hours.
Yeah, an hour.
That's all.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay.
Because we have the perfect marriage.
And if you want to tell us that we're disgusting and gross and you can't stand listening to us, go ahead. Let us know.
Be like, I think your relationship is bullshit. It's all for the likes. It's like, all for the likes and subscribes.
Maybe it is.
We would have to get them for that to be the case.
People don't like how happy we are.
Yeah. Just jealous. You're just jealous. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, what is there to be jealous of when the whole world is jealous of me?
So like and subscribe and watch the videos.
I have coffee on my shirt.
I am going to after the new year. Also, this will be out after the new year, so this will be the first podcast. Well, not this one because this is a part 2, but the first part of this will be the first podcast of the new year.
New Year!
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Anyway, so I like doing these with you. They're fun. I like it. I like it. It's fun. Also, I'm gonna have more personally for me. I'm gonna try to get more people on podcasts. I think that'd be fun. But I always love doing them with
More
you.
people than just your fam bam.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. We'll see how it works. I do like doing them with you though.
Mm-hmm.
You're my favorite.
I like being here for them.
Yeah, they're nice. Anyway, I love you.
I love you.
We're cool.
We're like the coolest.
Sorry, no. I'll ask it in a different way.
You're not wearing sweatpants. You can't sit with us.
I'll ask it in a different way. We're cool, right?
We're so cool.
Yeah, we're so cool. Anyway, so new things for the new year.
It's my Christmas present.
Same us. New year. Same podcast channel. Bad time. Bad channel. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so do you want to do the normal sign off, or do you want to do a different one?
Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread. Beep, beep.